So I'm going over meiosis today and over the notes that Miss Thompson has left us so you can understand. But first, we should go take a break and go to mitosis. Mitosis is a process where a single cell divides into two identical daughter cells. Pretty easy, which is PMAT, for those who do know. I'm not done going over mitosis, even though you might be able to see the background's not the same. But PMAT, which is essentially replicating its genetic material, DNA, and splitting it into two separate nuclei. And it's basically dividing itself into two identical copies of the original cell, which is PMAT, and that goes through the steps, and which is known as mitosis. What's different about meiosis is before it goes through the same interphase, G1, S phase, and G2 phase, but then it goes through PMAT, but PMAT again. It goes through PMAT 2 times before cytokinesis, and yeah. At the end of the interphase, the cell has two duplicated copies of every chromosome. Yeah. At the end of meiosis, there's 4 unique haploid gamete cells from sexual reproduction. From the notes, somatic cells, which are body cells, which is diploid, which is from blood cells, lung cells, muscle, heart, etc. But it is from mitosis. Gametes, which is sex cells, which is from haploid, which is the egg and sperm, that is from meiosis. Our bodies have 2 types of cells, diploid and haploid, but we have two full sets of chromosomes, a set from mom and dad. In haploid we have 1 full set of chromosomes. Yeah, from the egg and the sperm and shit. Moving on, autosomes is what carries the traits and make you who you are, which is the first 22 pairs of chromosomes. Moving on, the sex chromosomes, which carry the traits and determine who you are and your biological sex, which is the 23rd pair of chromosomes, which is the X or Y or XX. XY if you're male, but karyotypes is the diagram that shows the number and visual appearance of the chromosomes in a cell. Purpose of meiosis. Meiosis is a process of creating gamete sex cells that have half of the normal chromosomes, only 1 set. You do this twice to make 2 sets. So yeah, that's basically the purpose of meiosis. Moving on to the worksheet for today. Number 1, what is a karyotype? It gives in the notes, but is a diagram that shows the number and the visual appearance of the chromosomes in a cell. Okay, the answer for number 2 is 22 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. I know that because there's 23 pairs, 22 of them being autosomes, and the last pair being the 2 sex chromosomes, either X and Y or XX. Number 3 is it is a male organism, and I know that because it's an X and a Y chromosome, because there's a big one, which is an X, and there's a tiny one, which is a Y. Number 4, and it is a haploid because there is 23 pairs and not 46. A diploid would be 46 pairs and a haploid is 23. Number 5 would be a gamete cell because that's in humans, and that is with haploids. Number 6 is before meiosis because if it was after, there would be 23 chromosomes instead of 23 pairs. And number 7 is basically the same thing as 23 chromosomes instead of 23 pairs, and that's just what it would look like. There'd be a lot less, pretty much. So yeah, hope you learned something from this.